7:15 Thursday morning, we wake up to an ambitious plan to bring international students back to New South Wales. This idea reportedly has been accepted by the Department of Premier and Cabinet. Now, normally the federal government has control over the national border, and I would think that they would need to give some kind of approval in regards to visas, but there is a plan. The New South Wales government wants to begin accepting international students, and it would see these students put in their own quarantine system. Think of an Olympic village for foreign students. All of this would be paid for by the university sector. But what does the Prime Minister make of the plan? Scott Morrison is live on the line. PM, happy birthday to you.
Oh, good day, Ben. Thank you very, very much. Well, look, Ben, the plan that you refer to, I mean, the Premier and I have already discussed these matters before, and they've been working away on this, and we've always said that we want to be working with the states and with the sectors about how they can address these issues, and we will be working cooperatively with them. We already have been working with states like South Australia and the Territory, up there in the Northern Territory, where we've had pilots and other programs running of a similar nature. So this is what we mean when we say you just deal with these challenges, you come up with these innovative solutions, we work together, and there's still a long way from landing this, I should stress, at this point, but it's something that we're encouraging of, but it's got to be done safely, and we've got to be able to do it in a way that obviously doesn't risk the great success we've had, because basically that's what the budget's about, Ben. It's about securing Australia's recovery, and with all of these initiatives, if we're seeking to work our way through these challenges, then these are practical proposals, and look forward to working further with them.
So there's a possibility that we could welcome back foreign students under strict conditions before we allow Aussies to travel overseas without permission?
Well, not necessarily. Because the other proposal we're working on, which I've tasked through the National Cabinet, the medical professionals who advise us on, is I've been seeking to get support for where Australians who are vaccinated would be able to travel overseas and return in some sort of modified quarantine arrangement. I've been seeking that for some time. But that also has to be done safely. These are all of the options that we need to work practically on. Borders is just not a binary option of open one day, shut the next. There are various grades of that, and that's actually what the budget assumes. But they need to be practical. They need to be safe. They need to ensure that we don't put at risk the great gains that have been made, and I think New South Wales has led the way there throughout this pandemic in being practical. So this is a cooperative process.
I'm just having a look at the budget papers. It does have an assumption that the national border will be closed until mid-2022. You say you can't guarantee that we'll be able to return home without quarantine after 2022. Look, it's really a mug's game, isn't it? I know everyone wants to know the date. When can we fly? When can we can do this? When can we do that? But it's a mug's game when you're trying to guess what this virus is going to do next.
Well, that's exactly the point, Ben. So what you do is you deal with what's known, you work with proposals that are real, you make them work within the medical advice, which keeps Australians safe, and you get on with the job. And that's how we've been able to achieve what we've done over the last 18 months. That's what we've been doing. That's why right now Australia has more people in work, 13.1 million, than there were before the pandemic hit. Those 900,000 and more people who'd lost their jobs in the months following the pandemic hitting us, those jobs have all come back. And also, we've been able to protect the health of Australians. If we'd had the average fatality rate of COVID-19 in Australia that you have in the more than 30 countries of the OECD nations, like countries to ours, developed countries with sophisticated economies and health systems, 30,000 more people would have died in Australia. So we've achieved a lot together as a country, and the budget is about how we secure that recovery now as we go from that emergency phase, and we're now well into the recovery phase, and the budget drives that forward by strengthening our economy, continuing to fight the virus, guaranteeing essential services and the resilience of our nation, whether it's against pandemics or natural disasters or changing climate or, in particular, the security threats in the region. That's what the budget's about.
Prime Minister, those repatriation flights from India are set to resume on Saturday. They were suspended because of the crisis in India and worries that it would put too much pressure on our quarantine system. So are we now confident that we're ready?
Yeah, that's the advice I have, Ben, and we took that decision last week, and that was always our intention. What is happening in India is a terrible humanitarian tragedy, and that's why we're providing so much support to India at the moment, the oxygen concentrators, the respirators that we've sent. I spoke to Prime Minister Modi on Friday afternoon, and India are very grateful for the support that Australia is providing, as many other nations are, and it's not just obviously Australian citizens and residents who will be returning from those repatriation flights that we've been concerned for, but the people of India more broadly. The virus now, Ben, is ravaging the developing world. We've already seen it ravage the developed world, the United States and Europe and the United Kingdom. But now we're seeing it move through these developing countries, and it is truly heartbreaking. And it reminds us that this virus hasn't gone anywhere. It is a fierce enemy, and that's who I'm fighting, that virus.